Purposely. Your life, God's purpose. Listen at purposely.com.
Why does God have us wait? I am kind of about efficiency. I like things to be taken care of in the quickest way possible that checks off the most boxes so we can call it a day. I like the straight route. I don't like detours. I multitask because I want to get as much done as possible as quickly as possible. But honestly, multitasking is pretty inefficient. As you can imagine, with kids, it's very difficult to get anything done efficiently. Waiting just feels like a waste of time to me. Like, why can't we get straight to the point? If it has to do with learning, can't we just learn what we need to learn and just move on? Sometimes, though, time is what it takes to make the lessons stick and sink in. Hey, this is Jen. You're listening to the Bible for Busy People podcast. This week, we are talking about waiting on God's promises. Now, the Israelites are an example of this. After leaving Egypt, it seemed like one complaint after another. And then when they finally completely refused to go claim the land God had promised them, even though he'd shown his faithfulness to them in battle again and again, God is finished. He does not allow that generation to enter the promised land. Deuteronomy 1-2 tells this story, and I'm so excited we're looking at this today because once you see it this way, you are never going to be able to unsee it. I heard a lesson on this years and years ago, and it just completely changed my perspective on this whole journey in the wilderness. We are going to read through the highlights, and then you can go back and read them in full. Moses here is telling the whole story to the next generation of Israelites. He's preparing them to go into the promised land without him. This is Deuteronomy 1, verses 26-36, which says, "But you were unwilling to go up. You rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, 'The Lord hates us, so he brought us out of Egypt to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us. Where can we go? Our brothers have made our hearts melt in fear. They say the people are stronger and taller than we are. The cities are large with walls up to the sky. We even saw Anakites there.' Then I said to you, 'Do not be terrified. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God, who is going before you, will fight for you, as he did for you in Egypt before your very eyes and in the wilderness. There you saw how the Lord your God carried you as a father carries his son all the way you went until you reached this place. In spite of this, you did not trust the Lord your God, who went ahead of you on your journey in fire by night and in a cloud by day to go search out places for you to camp and to show you the way you should go. When the Lord heard what you said, he was angry and solemnly swore, 'No one from this evil generation shall see the good land I swore to give your ancestors, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He will see it, and I will give him and his descendants the land he set his feet on because he followed the Lord wholeheartedly.'" This is the pinnacle of the story. Again, you can go read the rest. But the Israelites chose not to listen to God and conquer the territory he had purposefully set aside for them. Because of that, God actually wanted to destroy them, but Moses pled for them and God forgave them. And yet he still did not let them enter the promised land. The next generation, who Moses is speaking to here, ends up getting to go. Moses also angered God when his temper flared up, and he was not allowed to go into the land. Joshua had to lead them instead. So the Israelites wandered near Kadesh Barnea for years, and that is a desert place that is just before the region that they would end up. Now we're in Deuteronomy chapter 2. In verse 2 it says, "Then the Lord said to me, 'You have made your way around this hill country long enough. Now turn north. Give the people these orders. You are about to pass through the territory of your relatives, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir. They will be afraid of you, but be very careful. Do not provoke them to war, for I will not give you any of their land, nor even enough to put your foot on. I have given Esau the hill country of Seir as his own. You are to pay them in silver for the food you eat and the water you drink. The Lord your God has blessed you and all the work of your hands. He has watched over your journey through this vast wilderness. These 40 years the Lord your God has been with you, and you have not lacked anything. So we went on past our relatives, the descendants of Esau, who lived in Seir. We turned from the Arabah road, which comes up from Elath and Ezion-Geber, and traveled along the desert road of Moab. Then the Lord said to me, 'Do not harass the Moabites or provoke them to war, for I will not give you any part of their land. I have given Ar to the descendants of Lot as a possession.'" So this is the shift I'm hoping comes across to you. In some ways, Deuteronomy 1 shows the Israelites' faithlessness, and chapter 2 shows God's faithfulness. Again, the book of Deuteronomy is Moses talking to the new generation that has risen up since the old generation has died. It shows how God takes them on a journey through the desert, highlighting the ways that God has been faithful to those who are connected to the Israelites, and how God has been faithful to the Israelites, not letting their clothes wear out, giving them food to eat on their journey. We're also looking at descendants of Esau and Lot who are provided for under God's promise. The Israelites were not to invade territory or declare war on the people in the desert unless God told them to, and they had to pay for any food or water they consumed on the way. Now, God did allow them to go to battle against Sihon and the Amorites because God had hardened Sihon's heart and he had refused to let the Israelites pass through. And so the Israelites end up defeating Sihon and the Amorites. So God was with them through that promise, and they were able to conquer this group of people that were not kind to them on their journey. God took them on a long journey of faithfulness. After 40 years in the desert, they were making their way to the promised land, and he's showing them how he was faithful to the people around them and how he's faithful to them. This new generation was able to see visual markers of how God intervened for his people, and still intervenes for us today. I personally have been navigating new territory in my faith. It's been a long season of questions and wondering and wandering, of seeking God and of learning new simple faith practices. But God has been so faithful in it. He's been patient with my questions. He's been meeting me with love and grace. And he's still been allowing me Holy Spirit conviction too. He is teaching me how he is faithful, even if systems and people have let me down. So what are the faithful things God is showing you through the process of your waiting season, whatever it is? How is God revealing his faithfulness, his kindness to you, how he intervenes for you in this time? I'll let you consider that, and we'll chat again tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to The Bible for Busy People. If you need prayer or want to go deeper in your faith, visit our show notes. Will you take a moment to share with a friend and leave a review? It helps the Bible get into even more people's minds and hearts. Find more podcasts that will recharge you at purposely.com.